You're going to be glad you clicked on that link. I've got an excellent idea for this market environment. It's so hard in times like this where the market's just whipsawing you and the market might be down 2 or 3% and you want to charge in and be bold, but it's so hard to when you don't know what your true downside is, right? Well, I've got an idea that I think you're going to see has very limited downside. Well, I know you hear that a lot. Brokers come at you from all sides saying limited downside, but I'll let you be the judge. You tell me what you think. This is an excellent idea, and I'm going to give you the punchline, and then we'll back into the idea. So here you go. The stock is trading at $13 a share, a little over, but they've got practically no debt. And are you ready? $27 per share in cash. So the stock's trading at 13, $27 a share in cash and no debt. So if this company closed their doors tomorrow, the stock would double. If they went out of business, investment doubles. And you might ask yourself, how does the stock get in that position where it's trading at half of its cash value? Not only that, but it's got $18 a share in revenue. So they have a good, solid business. So a little bit of the catch here, though, is it's not an American company. If it were an American company, you probably have these raiders who would come in and make a brilliant offer for the company, reach into their own coffers and buy the company with its own cash, practically a free acquisition. But in China, I'm not sure what the culture is or why you don't see that as much there. But here's a company that is very well known. It's a huge conglomerate. They had 3 divisions at one time, which was kind of a Netflix equivalent. Then they had a gaming division. And then they sort of had their Google. This was a search engine called SOHU. But the name of the company is SOHU. And the stock symbol is SOHU. The name of the company, SOHU. SOHU. So what happened is back in 2021, they decided to sell their search engine division. I think they thought that AI was going to put a real stress on that industry, and I think they're probably right. And they sold it for $1.2 billion in cash. And that's how they became so cash rich. So here's a company, bear in mind, that created huge value in this division they sold. They know how to create value. And then they turned around and they started using that cash and went into a negative cash flow position, which is where we are now. You know, Wall Street's looking at them saying, well, they're burning $100 million a year in their bottom line. I mean, how can we buy a company that's losing money? But you got to remember, they've got, I said $27 a share. Well, that's the equivalent of $900 million in cash. If they're burning $100 million a year, that gives them 9 years. But they're doing it almost intentionally. They're burning cash by spending it on R&D to beef up the revenues of their gaming division and this movie/Netflix type business they've got over here. So here you are. You've got a company also that has so much confidence in their own value that they initiated a $150 million stock share buyback. They've already bought back $50 million worth. Now they've got another $100 million to put back into the company. So I tell you, this is one of those things where I don't know if it's a long-term play. It's really kind of hard to tell whether it's a holding that you would want to hold long-term. But for me, I'm starting to see rumblings back into the China stocks. This was actually one of the darlings back in the day when China stocks were in favor, but you're starting to see that happen again. And I think this is one of those positions where you come in one day and you see it's up 30 or 40% when their value has suddenly been realized. The moment this company starts making money, you're going to be sure that there's going to be a lot of institutions that step in with confidence. But regardless, great one to buy. You know, if you're buying, if the stock drops to 9 or 8, you know they're trading way, way below cash. Anyway, that's the idea of the day. SOHU. Love to see your comments below. Take care.